bloody blimey. This stuff is 25 kilos. To build an electric bike, you have two options for the motors you can choose. One's a mid-drive motor, which is chain-driven, one's a hub motor. And if you choose a chain-driven motor, there's a lot of welding and mounting and technicals which is required so that your chain is perfect, the line perfect, and everything. And I'm not that smart, so I'm gonna go with the easy way. And that's why I ordered a hub motor. Oops, this is heavy. This is my 3000 watt hub motor. This side is the side where I mount my disc. So it looks something like this. It's quite heavy, so I'm just going to let it down. That operates on 72 volts. With the help of this, the motor controller. This is a 65 amp sine wave motor controller with regenerative function set. It's pretty neat. This kit which I bought came with more parts too, such as the 72 volt to 12 volt DC converter. So for all the lights, horn, signals and stuff like that, you need 12 volts. So it can take this 72 volt from a battery and convert it to 12 volts. And then I can connect it with my bike's normal electrical system. The throttle with a button which is forward and backward. Although this throttle doesn't come with speed modes, and this motor supports speed modes, so I might have to just order a new throttle altogether, but it's not expensive, so I don't care. This is the MCV wire harness. That's all on the motor front. Okay, the battery is really heavy, so I'm just gonna flip my camera and show it to you guys. That's my battery. I think that's where you discharge and charge it all at once.
Okay, let's look at this bike's condition. This is my best part. Look at this bike now. Remember this picture because in the final picture, like the final bike which I get ready, it's really like day and night difference. But anyways, yeah. So you can see completely rusted. I don't know what happened. Half seat and everything. I don't know what happened to the seat. The spokes and the fork actually look decent. Apart from that, everything's gone. I don't know where the engine is. I don't know what. Everything's rusted. And apart from the frame, I'm gonna take out everything. This part, I did everything on my own. It was kind of fun taking out rusted items. It's a really enlightening experience. Next part was to decide how and where my battery sits. So the battery is pretty long. It's like 17 inches. So and where the engine bay or where the engine and transmission sits, the measurements for that was like 14 inches for the height and 12 to 14 inches was the width, and about 20 inches was diagonal. The measurement was like 20 inches for diagonally, but I couldn't fit it diagonally because I mean, I thought that was my initial plan to fit it diagonally. I might have to cut a bar which made the bike's frame structurally sound, which I didn't want to do. But on trying that to put the battery, it just didn't go in. So then there was a completely new approach which I had to take, which is so this is how the approach looked, and I think so. It looks pretty damn well. I mean, when the bike you ride it, so pretty rattle free, so no complaints here. Next up was the tires. I mean, the rear tires, these are radial tires, tubeless, beautiful. Apollo Alpha S1s. I love splurging on tires, and I love the thread pattern for these. And when the guy was putting it on, I was like, you should scared because you see the axle and everything. I thought he's putting so much weight, my whole axle is gonna come out and everything. And I was pampering the motor like a baby, like it's really delicate for all this while, and he goes and he stands on it like that, and I was like shit scared. But it when you see the final version of it, it looks pretty cool. So no complaints there. Let's talk about pots next. So I went shopping for a few pots. I mean, it wasn't all bought in one day's time. I had to. It was more like a 3 week process, but I had to buy the parts to assemble the bike, give it like a picture and everything of how it's gonna go, and just make it stand on its feet and tires, like so that it's easy to walk on. So the first thing I got was rear brakes. It was a disc brake setup. I had to put it on the left side. Um, because generally bikes have it the rear brakes on the right side, but I had to put it on the left side because the motor used to spin in that direction. If I put it on the right side, it would spin in the opposite direction. And the only rear disc brake which I know in the market was Royal Enfield's Classic 350s. So it's a heavy bike, Royal Enfield, 200 kilos. So putting like a rear brake from that bike, it works just brilliantly. So then I got this caliper picture. Then I got this display picture, a few caliper pictures, and yeah, moving on. Let's talk about my headlights. And when I went to the market and looked for like headlights and everything, I wasn't sure like what kind of look I wanted. I was just searching for like modified headlights and everything. So if I have like Royal Enfield headlights, like modified ones, they were like really big. They were like huge, and I don't want like because my bikes are kind of small compared to like these big bikes, and then I don't want like them to have like this huge overwhelming effect where like, my whole headlight is eating up my bike's front end. So what I did was I got like two small fog lamps, and these are beautiful because it's got like ring around them, which acts like basically DRLs. Have you seen like DRLs in motorcycles? I haven't. So I was really happy with them. It's got three modes also with high beam, low beam, and like a dipper. It's like a strobe light, and it's really annoying. It's really fun to annoy the other motorists on the road. So yeah, then moving on, I got a Pulsar 150's fork because the RX100 fork I was a little doubtful that if it would work with that heavy battery. I mean, it would, but the Pulsar's fork is beautiful. It's a little wider and it gives a brilliant stance of riding. Then this is the rim from the Pulsar also, and yeah. So now for the brake lever, I have my front brakes on the left brake lever, and my right brake lever operates the rear discs. And you don't get like left master cylinders in the market because no bikes uses it. Bikes have like their rear, brakes on the right side in the rear, so they don't have like they have the clutch on the left side. So basically, the only company which makes it is Revolt RV4 for their RV400. But when I went to ask them, they were like, no. So then I had to source it from a different person, and I was questioning over the quality, but it works fine. And yeah, it was a really cool picture of dad trying to help me this one night and basically plugging in my MCB and wiring it all up. And the wiring for these kind of batteries are really important because you cannot have loose connection in them. These are really high. They have 50 amps continuous transfer at 72 volts, which is like really high. So, you know, if they spark and everything, and if there's any loose connection, it can be a disaster. Like it's like a ticking bomb with these batteries and everything. So yeah, and what happened one time when dad was doing this, we switched on the MCB, and because these adapters are like really cheap quality, there was sparks flying. And if you catch DC current, basically what happens is you cannot let go because it's DC is continuous. With AC it's like it's alternating, so you can just like you can it leaves you for like a second, and you can just, but with DC no. So I learned quite a couple of things that night.
Okay, first time.
It's been more than 9 minutes and you guys have not seen the bike yet, so before you guys lose your patience, drum roll for the bike. Okay, so this is the first time my dad's riding the bike properly, like like full out, or when I reduce the rattles a bit. I mean, it's still pretty much very loose, everything. The battery is not like fit in, but it was flying because this bike is like the feeling of it's a very different feeling. I was trying, it was really hard to keep up with him with the Bergman 125cc. And this bike right now, when he's riding it, it only has like one front brake working, the rear brake wasn't put in. So even with that, he was like flying, and I wouldn't. I was scared because stopping that bike, but it's just stop, and he was trying to see the handling and everything. It was really agile. The thing about this bike is like a bicycle with like really thick wheels, because it's like completely soundless, right? And that's the strobe lights which I had, and it just looks amazing. And he was just, we love high beams and everything, like fancy high LED lights. So that was really fun. And then he just disappeared because I was like going full out and was filming with one hand. It was still, I was about to fall and everything. But yeah, and I mean, in the end, I think so. The bike looks like pretty solid from the back. It had some wheel alignment issues in the rear, but still it worked perfectly fine. And then this was like the first uh, second night maybe after the bike was like ready, and yeah. This one, it's trying to get a little wheel spin, trying to burn that rubber, and then let's talk about how I spray painted my bike for like 600 rupees. So I get like 2 spray paint canisters for like 300 rupees each. And yeah, I was just spray painting it in my garage. Sprayed it for like 30 minutes, then waited. Put one coat, waited for 30 minutes, put another coat for like 3-4 coats. It was raining. I had some other work which was pending, and I was on the bike, and I was like, I couldn't, and it wasn't in my hands for the spot and everything. So I was like, let me just spray in the rain, maybe. But I think so. I got a good job done, and I got a kind of a darkish red color. I could go with all black, and right now my frame's not ready. But this topic, I should just mention a disclaimer that I left for uni, and I couldn't put panels and cover the battery up, the top part, and everything. That's my next task: put mud flaps and cover the battery and beautify it. A lot of electricals are remaining, like connecting the horn and everything with the switch gear. So yeah, that's due next. This next part's about me riding the bike on public roads. I went up to like 50, 60. I think the top speed I've tried out is 80 kilometers per hour. I've achieved a range of maybe 60 or something like that. It could go more, but I'm always at full speed and everything. So yeah, I mean, it performs really well. There was a little rattling issue which I fixed before leaving. Put some rubber pieces, and like, I mean, there's still a little welding required, but it feels amazing on the public roads.